Every week, we're working hard to give you the latest weather updates, stories from around campus, and the Pittsburgh area. RMU Live, bringing you the latest news.
Good afternoon and welcome to the first RMU Live of the semester. Today is Thursday, February 8th. My name is Colby Sherwin and I'm joined with
Josh Woodman.
And today we're going to start off in the Middle East. Tensions surge as a U.S. drone strike targets and kills a senator leader of Khabib Hezbollah in Baghdad. Retaliation from recent attacks on American troops, including the deadly incident in Jordan. The Pentagon confirms the strike, igniting protests in the streets of Baghdad. Witnesses reports two commanders among the casualties. Major General Tashish al-Kafib condemns the strikes as an aggression violates Iraq's sovereignty. This escalation follows recent American airstrikes in Syria and Iraq. President Biden vows swift action to defend U.S. personnel and interests.
Last Tuesday, the House of Representatives did not succeed in their plan to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, an objective that's been pushed since the recent elections. The GOP and their voters have wanted to see Mayorkas gone, but lost the vote 214 to 216. Of the two articles of impeachment brought against Mayorkas, both stated that his, quote, unwillingness and systematic refusal to comply with the law, end quote, this comes as Mayorkas and other Biden staffers have been sought after during the ongoing border crisis ahead of the 2024 election. While Mayorkas remains in his position for now, Republicans have already brought the resolution back for another vote.
In Washington, Senate Republicans blocked a bipartisan border security and foreign bill, raising uncertainty over additional aid for allies Ukraine and Israel. The $118 billion package was rejected in a 49-50 vote, with Republicans arguing that it lacks sufficient and measured for border control. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer plans to introduce a stripped-down aid package for Israel and Ukraine, but with the Senate unable to secure the necessary votes, further deliberation is postponed until tomorrow. Tensions ran high in Republican lunch, and Senate John Tooch urging colleagues to, quote, stop being bleep and just vote, end quote. The move ensured Democrats with Senate Chris Murphy labeling it outrageous despite bipartisan support. The bill failed to garner the required 60 votes.
It's safe to say the future looks bright here in Pittsburgh, or at least a bit richer. Yesterday, the City Council approved the plan to see a $600 million plan to improve the city's social and physical aspects over the course of 2 years. Spending will hope to tackle climate change and alter the city's zoning laws, as well as hope to deal with the racial injustices in the city's history. The vote was not unanimous as 3 members voted against the plan, but since its presentation, some members did flip on their opinions, including Councilman Bob Charlin. Charlin said of the bill last week, quote, I think this plan is still far too expensive. I don't have a justification that meets my needs for why it is so expensive, end quote. In the end, Charlin voted for the plan, citing the city's zoning issues as a reason for change.
From Pittsburgh, the city's free spay and neuter program is on hold. And, quote, until we understand the pause, we will cause short-term inconvenience for the people and their pets. We fully support the city's goal of reassuring the program to make it as effective as possible in reducing the serious problem of overpopulation of animals, end quote, said Dr. Amanda Zito, medical director at Animal Friends. Quote, thousands of surgeries have already been performed, making a real difference in our community, end quote, stated Sydney Cole, a spokesperson for Animal Friends. Quote, this is a situation is unmanageable at this time and is only going to result in more suffering animals than rescues fear can take this program. Stay on hold for even a few months, end quote. Emphasized Jody Mader, director of Cat Calls Rescue. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing story.
Wednesday morning, firefighters spent hours trying to put out a house fire on Sunset Avenue in the Spring Hill City View neighborhood. Dispatch received the call before 4 in the morning. Police say no one was injured as the house was abandoned. The house's roof and inside floors collapsed, according to the fire chief. There's currently an ongoing investigation into how the fire started.
Coming up, it was a big week for the entertainment as the Grammys took place and Disney announced plans for an upcoming film. Stay tuned here on RMU Live.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
I can't wait to get back to field trips with my school.
Not having to think about putting on a mask.
I really can't wait to get back to life, really.
I miss all my friends. I miss taking pictures in school.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
COVID-19 vaccines are available, and they're the first step to safely getting back to things we miss most. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccines.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 30 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people.
It's time to make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccines. The dangerous new Delta variant is more than twice as contagious as the original virus and can affect anyone. Right now, 9 out of 10 hospitalizations and deaths from COVID are among unvaccinated people. Getting vaccinated might save your life, and there's now an option that's fully approved by the FDA. Learn more at getvaccineanswers.org.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear, because for years he's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But there's a lot more to say, like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back to RMU Live. Last Sunday, the 66th annual Grammys took place. Comedian Trevor Noah hosted the event, but the night was largely overshadowed by the continued Taylor Swift takeover. Swift's album Midnights took home the award for Album of the Year, and during her speech, the pop star announced her new album, The Tortured Poets Department, which is set to release in April. Miley Cyrus's Flowers won Record of the Year, beating out Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, SZA, and Billie Eilish. Eilish did not go home empty-handed, though, taking home Song of the Year for What Was I Made For from the movie Barbie. Cyrus and Swift also won awards for Best Pop Solo Performance and Best Pop Vocal Album, respectively. Paramore won Best Rock Album for This Is Why, and controversially, Killer Mike's album Michael took home the Best Rap Album award, beating out Travis Scott's Utopia and Metro Booming's Heroes vs. Villains, though Killer Mike was arrested after the event for an apparent assault.
Staying with the Swiftie takeover, in a legal dispute that's capturing attention, Taylor Swift is reportedly days away from a Trans-Pacific Super Bowl journey, but she's facing challenges closer to home. University of Central Florida student Jack Sweeney has received a cease and desist letter from Swift's attorney, urging him to stop tracking the movements of her personal jet fleet. According to Sweeney, Swift's attorneys claim that her, quote, life is a constant state of fear for her personal safety, end quote. They consider Sweeney's actions to be reckless. However, Sweeney argues that he's all about transparency and public information, urging publicly available data from the Federal Aviation Administration. Quote, I think it's important to note that nowhere do I intend for harm. I simply share the facts, end quote. Sweeney told NBC News. Jamie Slater, a Florida attorney representing Sweeney, asserts that Swift or any other jet owner has no legal authority to block such public information. Quote, there's no claim to justice, publicize public information, end quote. Slater said, quote, and in Ms. Swift's lawyer's letter, they didn't address any real claims, end quote. Swift's lawyers could not immediately be reached out for comment Tuesday.
Disney announced its plans for their films in the upcoming years. CEO of Disney, Bob Iger, released a surprise trailer and statement confirming a sequel to their 2016 hit, Moana, set to release this year. Last year, Iger announced plans to continue the stories of some of their most famous characters and franchises. But during Disney's quarterly meetings yesterday, Iger mentioned Zootopia 2 was confirmed for a 2025 release, as well as Frozen 3 and Toy Story 5, which are set to come out in 2026. Also announced was their upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu movie, set to be dropping the same year. Iger urged fans to stay patient through this relatively barren run for films, as the upcoming years have a lot in store.
Staying in Disney, in a strategic partnership, Disney is investing a strategic $1.5 billion in Epic Games, the creators behind the game sensation Fortnite. But this collaboration isn't just about numbers, it's about creating a new frontier of entertainment. Quote, with the plans to merge the iconic worlds of Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, Avatar, and a more immersive gaming universe of Fortnite, this partnership promises to redefine how we play, interact, and engage with our favorite characters and stories, end quote, said CEO of Disney, Bob Iger. He emphasized that the move isn't just about capitalizing on the booming gaming market, but about meeting the evolving demands of today's audience, with younger generations spending as much time as games as they do watching movies. Disney recognizes that they need to adapt and innovate.
Ex-Mandalorian actress Carla Garno is suing her former employer Disney, alleging the company dismissed her for her right-wing views. Carno has received recent support from some fans, including owner of X, formerly known as Twitter, Elon Musk, who has paid for Carno's expenses from the suit. Carno was fired after a series of social media posts arose in 2021. Carno posted opinions of political issues, like comparing today's state of governing to the Holocaust, and then made posts that seemed to mock people for wearing masks during the COVID-19 outbreak. A year prior, the actress made a series of posts on Twitter questioning the legitimacy of votes in the 2020 election, and also changed her pronouns in her Twitter bio to, quote, beep, bop, and boop. According to Carno, her opinion should not have gotten her fired, saying Disney twisted her words and bullied her, making her an example. Disney have yet to comment or respond to the allegations.
On Wednesday, the Penguins hosted the Jets for the first game back from the All-Star break, and the net was a great matchup between Tristan Jarry and superstar Connor Hellebuyck. The Jets would struggle to score as they fell to the Penguins 3-0. Jake Guentzel, Sidney Crosby, and Brian Rust all scored. The Jets did get some good news, however, in the loss as Mark Scheifele returned from injury. But the Jets just couldn't take flight. They had a hard time moving the puck in the loss on Friday. The Penguins will continue with Central Showdown as they head to Minnesota to take on Marc-Andre Fleury and the Wild. Speaking of sports, Josh, the Super Bowl is Sunday. Give me your prediction.
I see it going to the Chiefs. I don't see any way going around it, unfortunately, for Niners fans out there. I think the best shot the Niners got is on that defense, but I don't think Mahomes will slow down anytime soon. I'm
going to have to take the Chiefs as well. Mahomes, Kelsey, the Swifties in arm. Just going to be an excellent game on Sunday. And thank you for joining us today on RMU Live. For our producer, Finn Lyons, Josh Woodman, I'm Colby Sherwin. We'll see you next week.